So in chapters 130 and 131 of the My Hero Academia manga, we found out that at the beginning of the series, All Might was searching for a suitable candidate to be One For All's 9th successor. Of course, Deku was the one who ended up being chosen to be the 9th successor and 9th user of One For All, but what if he wasn't chosen to be the next user of One For All? In All Might's conversation with Sir Night-Eye around the time Deku was chosen, All Might and Sir Night-Eye both state that there were plenty of suitable candidates that All Might could have chosen from. So for today's video, we'll be looking at 5 heroes who could have been the 9th user of One For All. Quick side note, I won't be going into too much detail on how All Might will run into these heroes. I'm mostly going off of their personality and character development that we see some of these characters go through that would make them suitable for being the next user of One For All. But if you really need an explanation, then All Might being the #1 hero and symbol of peace at the time, he most likely has connections and could just schedule a meeting with any of the top or aspiring heroes on this list. Now, before I get into today's video, if you are new to the channel, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on if you haven't done so already. That way you never miss an upload. With that said, let's get back to the video. So starting at number 5, we have Muriel Togata, aka Lemillion. This is an obvious choice since before All Might had ran into Deku, he was originally on his way to go meet Muriel because Principal Nezu had recommended Muriel to All Might as a potential candidate for One For All. When looking at Muriel physically, his body would be able to handle the immense power of One For All right out of the gate, similar to how when All Might first got One For All, he was able to use One For All at 100%, no problem. Not only that, but when looking at Muriel's personality and strive for being a hero, you will notice that he is very caring and willing to go to extreme lengths in order to save someone, which is best shown to us during the Shei Hasaikai arc, when despite losing his quirk, he never lost the will to fight and save Eri. Muriel definitely would have made a great 9th successor to One For All, plus having permeation as well as One For All would have made Muriel a complete beast. Coming in at number 4, we have my man's Kamui Woods. Now, we really don't know much about Kamui, but we do know that in the beginning of the series, he was an up-and-coming popular hero who took being a hero very seriously and was incredibly talented. Later on in the series, during the Pro Hero arc, Kamui would make his way to being the number 7 top pro hero during the Japan Hero Billboard chart Pro Hero rankings. We do get a lot more insight into his personality and how passionate he is about being a hero. In the Pro Hero arc, Kamui Woods states that since Edshot was kind enough to let him join his team, that he wanted to make Edshot and all of his superiors proud of him. And we actually find out in the Ultra Analysis data book that when Edshot asked Kamui Woods to join his team, Kamui Woods was so happy that he cried for 2 hours straight. Not only that, but if you weren't convinced that he would have been a good choice to be the 9th user of One For All, in the manga's 10th volume's Omake, it stated that some claim that he will be the one to create the next generation of heroes. And what better person to pass down this amazing quirk onto than someone who is going to create the next generation of heroes. At number 3, we have Inasa Yorashi, aka Galeforce. Inasa is a first-year student at Shiketsu High who was actually the top recommended student for entering UA until he decided to no longer attend because of his hatred towards Todoroki. His personality and passion for being a hero makes him a great fit for One For All since he believes heroes should be hot-blooded when it comes to fighting and saving people. Not only that, but his quirk Whirlwind is an extremely powerful quirk that lets him freely manipulate the air around him. For a first-year student, he has extremely precise control over his wind. When saving the injured civilians during the provisional license exam, he was able to delicately lift people into the air while also separating rubble away from the injured. It's safe to say that having such precision with his own powerful quirk that he would be able to handle One For All just the same. Also, since he was the top recommended student, word could have easily made it to All Might about an extremely powerful student turning down UA, which which would have definitely caught All Might's attention. Now at number 2, we have the number 2 top pro hero, wing hero Hawks. Literally everything about Hawks makes him the perfect candidate for One For All in my opinion. At the age of 18, he started his own hero agency, and in that same year, he made it into the top 10 in the Billboard chart's second rankings, which made him the world's first ever to make it into the top 10 as a teenager. Now, when you look into Hawks' personality and ideology, you'll see that he is willing to do anything so that way he can make the world one where heroes could relax a lot more, which is a very noble and caring thing to want. To me, Hawks' ideals and his actions later on in the manga make him the perfect candidate for One For All. Plus, his quirk is awesome, and I could only imagine what insane boost One For All would have had on a quirk like Fierce Wings. And finally, at number 1, we have the rabbit hero Merko. In the case of Merko, I think her beliefs would clash with the idea of being given One For All, since she has made it very clear that she thinks joining teams makes you weak, so I'm pretty sure she would reject the offer of being handed the power of One For All. But hey, if All Might didn't have anyone else to give One For All to and Merko was his final hope, and big pause on what I'm about to say, then he could just forcefully give One For All to her, since All Might did say that One For All can still be given to someone who isn't willing to have it. Now, I believe One For All's power really suits and fits in with Merko's personality, since she always speaks her mind and is always ready to throw hands with any villain. Plus, she never loses the will to fight despite how bad her circumstances may be, which is best shown to us during the war arc when she is battling against 4 high-end Nomus, which was insane. And you know what? I think she would make for one badass One For All user with the way she fights, trash talks during her fights, and the fact that she always smiles in the face of danger no matter what. With all that said, I believe these heroes would have all been amazing choices to have been the 9th successor of One For All. Plus, who knows, maybe some of these heroes, besides Muriel of course, were at one point considered to be the next One For All successor by All Might. Of course, Deku was the one who ended up being One For All's 9th successor, but it's always fun to speculate who All Might could have chosen and had in mind when he said that there were plenty of good choices that could have became the next user of One For All. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on the video, and which hero would you have wanted to see be the 9th user of One For All if Deku had not have been chosen. For me, it would have to be the Rabbit Queen herself, Merko, and I can only imagine how badass she would look using One For All at 100% full cowling. She would honestly be insane, and if you have fan art of that or know of someone who has made fan art of One For All Merko, then please tag me at ShowBobs5 on Twitter so that way I can see their take or your take on a One For All Merko. I think that would be so awesome. But with all of that said, if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to Detroit smash that like button below, and don't forget to share this video with your friends. If you want to see more My Hero Academia content, then be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on to join the ShowBobs Hero Academia to become my hero. Doing all of this really does help the channel out a lot, and it's always appreciated. You can also follow me on Twitter at ShowBobs5 so we can talk more about My Hero and other anime/manga all day long. Remember to stay plus ultra, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.